Yes, people. As I normally say, it's Jacob on the one up top. Hope you've had a blessed weekend, blessed Sunday, and I hope you're feeling good at the minute right now. Well, I hope you're feeling better than I am anyway, because my club, Tottenham Hotspur, are about to play Liverpool away. Yeah. Where do I start? I'll start with the lineups. Just give myself a little bit of time to think. So we start with the hosts first, which are Liverpool. Alisson Becker, the ever-present in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold right back. Konate, Van Dijk centre-halves. Robertson left back. Fabinho, Jones and Elliott holding the fort in midfield. Salah and Diaz on the wings respectively, and Gakpo through the middle. With ours, you see by the eye movement, you know what I mean. I'm glad Fraser Forster's still in goal. I wish he was in goal to send a statement rather than the fact that Lloris is injured. Back three of Romero, Dyer and Davis. Wing backs Perisic and Pedro Porro, sorry. Højbjerg, Skip, Kulusevski, Son and Kane. The one thing I want to highlight, or there's two things I want to highlight in the fact of the reason why I don't think we're going to win at Anfield, is we saw when we played United last weekend, especially in the first half, well, only in the first half really, to be fair, that we got overrun in midfield. And I look at the lineups we've got right now. They've already got three in midfield as it is, but then we all seen in recent terms that Trent Alexander-Arnold has been coming in and doing the Cancelo role, so to speak. So coming in from fullback and distributing the balls, which a lot of Liverpool fans I know questioned it. But when you look at it, it's like, as long as you're not being exposed at the back, that's a problem. Because for me, on the ball, in terms of distributing, significant passes, I think I'll put him in the same breath as De Bruyne and Harry Kane, if I'm honest. Like, there's certain passes that I think only them three in the league are capable of doing. On the ball, Trent Alexander-Arnold's magnificent. Like, I understand the slack he gets for his defensive positioning, but he's better than our right back, but our right back don't get not as much smoke as him anyway. Like, it makes front page of the newspaper when Trent Alexander-Arnold can't defend. But we've got a back five that can defend just as well as him, but you don't really hear too much of it. There's not a story made out of it anyway. But if I want to look at the way Liverpool is set up, that's one problem, because I feel like we're already going to be overrun in midfield, because Fabinho's only going to be the only one that sits. You'd have Elliott and Jones, they'll be a bit more adventurous. They're more attacking than they are defensive. And then you'll have Trent just popping in to make up the numbers. And because they're going to have a lot more of the possession, and we'll probably be happy to concede it, Liverpool are going to have a field day in terms of possession. It's just whether they can take their chances. In terms of chances, Cody Gakpo has scored a fair few amount of goals. He had a reasonably good start to his career at Liverpool. I like him. He's a good player. Salah always scores against us. Always scores in general. He's a top player. Top. You got in that position. I'll go as far as saying he's one of the best ever in the Premier League in that right hand position. I'm not going to sit there and say he's the best because there's a lot of competition there, but he's up there. And if he keeps banging these numbers, he's going to certify that. And then we've got Diaz. He's been out for ages, but it feels like the last time I watched him play properly was when he played against us in the return, or in the same fixture last year towards the end in May. Probably isn't the last time I've seen him play, but it feels like that's the last time. And in that game, Liverpool were pretty poor, but he was immense. He got the equaliser, he got them all going, and that was for them to try and get the title. So that's how it feels like. That's the last time I've watched him play anyway, I think. But because he's been injured so long, it definitely isn't the last time. If I go to our lineup, for me, the issues, I've got a lot of issues. It's like, I was a bit worried that Jota was going to have Pedro Porro on toast. But when you see Diaz, you think if he comes back and wants to get back into the swing of things, we're in trouble down that hand side. He could easily get Porro exposed as well as Romero booked. And you go to the other side, I wanted to see Ben Davies play left wing back because he's played against Salah before. Longley tucked in inside. I'd have had a bit more. It's a bit more of a safety net having them two there because, like I say, they don't set the world alight. But Longley's got composure, and Ben Davies knows what he's doing. He'll give you a 6, 7 out of 10 every game. So I'd like to have seen that, but our weaknesses are our fullbacks and our defending, and Liverpool's strengths are the complete problem that are going to be coming our way. So with that in mind, I just don't see us. I'll go as far as saying I don't even think we'll score, but the only reason I think we might score is because Harry Kane is Harry Kane. So if someone wants me to do a score prediction, I've still got the same energy as the Newcastle. It doesn't matter that we showed heart against Man United. I feel that Man United kind of sat back off and they were very naive and they kind of let us back into the game. And because they let us, we took the chance and moved forward with it. But I generally think Liverpool need a pick-me-up. This is a game where neither of us are probably going to get in the Champions League. But at the same time, neither of us want to finish 7th. So Liverpool are going to want to win this and accept that, we'd rather be in the Europa League than, that footballers don't lose games on purpose. So Liverpool are not going to sit there and try and lose all their games. So they're going to win this. And I'll go with a 5-1. Generally, it could be more than that. And it's not even me being stupid. When I did my Newcastle one and sent the video to a few of my friends, they thought I was nuts. But I was like, well, I got it wrong because it was 6. So I'm not even going to go with the prediction of my heart because the last time we beat Liverpool at their ground, I'm a 38-year-old man. The last time we did that, I was 25, and I remember it because it was the one time I didn't watch Liverpool and Tottenham because my cousin, who's like my brother, supports Liverpool, so we'd always watch that together. But this time I was in the doghouse. So I took my ex-girlfriend to Nando's on a cheap thing, and we won. And since then, I've watched every single game at Anfield. I've even been there to watch Spurs away, and nothing materialised. So I'm not going to be confident. It just, like I say, same energy as Newcastle, same energy as when we used to lose all the time to Chelsea. So I'm going to go 5-1. And if we don't lose 5-1, we ain't going to win. So, yeah, see you guys at half time. 3-1 Liverpool. I'm not even going to talk about what's going on. It's half time, isn't it? 3-1 Liverpool. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, I don't know whether to laugh or get annoyed. I don't know what to do. One thing I did notice about that is the crowds, told everybody what the status of both clubs is. Now, picture this, this is what I mean by it. So, Liverpool are a position below us in the league. People, a few, say about 2 months ago, arguably saying Liverpool were the least performing side in the whole of the league in comparison to where they should be, right? But then, all of a sudden they've caught us up. At the time where everybody was taking a mick out of Liverpool, I think we were 3rd in the league, like Gary Neville said. And somehow it's just gone to mess. But when I say about the crowds, Liverpool were 3-0 up here. Soon as we scored and we had a little bit of possession, their fans were vexed. You couldn't hear the Liverpool fans, Meanwhile, big club Tottenham, we've scored a goal at Anfield, and you'd think that we were winning 3-1. This is what I mean about we're not a big club, because Tottenham fans were singing like Everton fans would. Everton fans would go to Anfield, recognise that as much as they hate it, Liverpool are 10 times the bigger size of them. But then Everton fans will admit that they're not a world class. They're not a side that would compete with Liverpool in some respects. They'd want to because of the bragging rights of the cities, but they would admit that they can't. Meanwhile, little old Tottenham are turning up and saying that we can compete. We compete with these teams. Don't get twisted. I'm in the balance with the fans, because the fans, on one hand, I'm thinking fair play to you because you're continuing to sing, to give them energy. You've paid your money to go out there, so you might as well be in good spirits than bad ones, regardless of the dross that you're seeing on the pitch. But on the flip side, it's like, how are you there singing "We Are Tottenham" from the lane? And it's not like we was doing it the whole game. You didn't hear the Tottenham fans. We weren't there. There weren't no singing until we scored. So it's like, for me, the energy that I got is that they're singing because they couldn't believe we scored, and I don't blame them. Do you know what I mean? It's mad because I put a bet down on Liverpool 5-0, even though in the video, which you'll see prior to this, I said that we'll lose 5-1 and Harry Kane will score. But either way, I'll generally for Liverpool will score 5. It's so horrible, isn't it? You got a load of players that are feeling sorry for themselves. It's a team divided, you know. If I'm honest, you look at Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski, you know, as a three, they haven't been performing top level of the tree. But between the three of them, I think they've got their own WhatsApp group and they're looking at the boys that they got behind them and they're just thinking like, boys, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how many we're going to have to score this week because we've got these three behind us. You know, like Gary Neville was saying some really valid points, man. Things that I've been saying on my videos and things I've been saying before I even jumped on YouTube, that the managers that we've had have sucked the life out of this club along with the ownership. It's like Pochettino, granted, there was a time where Tottenham fans wanted him sacked. We were 14th. Whether you believe it or not, to be right, cool. But it's like the managers that we've hired since then were never going to get an energy out of this club. There was never going to get a boost. There was never going to be like, oh, I can't wait to watch Tottenham this week. You know, Mourinho, we all knew, you know, he was going to come in and we thought, we'll take the dead football because we'll win a cup, right? He gets us to a final. Guess who gets involved? Baldy up top, right? Cool. We don't win a cup. And then we bring Nuno in. Now, Nuno was never going to win us a cup, but it got to the point where our owners just had no clue what they were doing, that they were like, just bring someone in to shut these lot up because it's stressful now, which obviously shows they don't care. So they brought Nuno in. Then they brought Conte in. These managers are never going to get your energetic football. And just when I've been thinking this, and Gary Neville says it, I forgot to mention the fact that Harry Kane's interview earlier, talking about like the only time, he's pretty much subliminally saying that the only time it felt right was under Pochettino. So Harry Kane's saying it, but then he chucks it in the end by saying the future is bright. Yeah, the future's bright for you, bruv, because we all know that you're going to go. If he stays, it's because he's been forced to, not because he wants to. It's just, I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's just like, I could have easily gone in just like I did at Newcastle, but I calmed it down a bit. You know, it's got to the point where like, I remember when I used to say to the kids about 6 months ago, you know, Tottenham are playing ooh. What's the score going to be? And they'd be quite optimistic. They'd be like, yeah, you know what, Dad? It's going to be tough against Man United, but it's going to be 3-2. It's going to be tough against Arsenal, but I reckon it'll be 2-1. I reckon it's going to be tough against Man City, but it's going to be 1-0. I spoke to my daughter and I said, what do you think the score's going to be? She's going on about like 5-2. And she hadn't even heard me on the video. My son, yeah, I don't think we're going to score. You know what I mean? When we're 3-0 down, my son's in the living room crying his eyes out because he's got to go to school because his mates are going to take the piss. He's 6, man. And this is what he's saying. This is what the club do. So you got little kids probably getting upset. Not just my son, kids across the whole world that support Tottenham. But then you've got grown adults that probably don't even want to come to work because they're getting the same treatment from their work colleagues. But then these players just don't care about that. So I just think it's funny, man. Like, I honestly don't care if we go and win this game. I don't care because it's like, you've showed me that as a club, as a unit, as a squad, whatever, like Gary Neville said again, he was killing it in the commentary. Tottenham managers, recruitment players are all reactive. You know, all of a sudden we start playing well when we're 3-0 down. All of a sudden at Newcastle we start playing well when we're 5-0 down. Man United, we start playing well when we're 2-0 down. The whole club can't think, well, hold up, we need to do this from the off. So Daniel Levy can't think we need to get these players or get these managers in to start on the front foot. We can't get a manager that wants to start on the front foot because, like I said, we've had 3 managers in the spin that want to play counter-attack. You can't counter-attack life. You got to counter, you know, if you can't counter-attack life, why do you want to counter-attack football? If you want to go and win the big prizes, go and get them. You don't just sit there and go, hold up, the prizes will come to me. But this is what Tottenham are doing for the last 4 years. Just a madness. Like I keep saying, I've said it so many times on videos. If you want to go and talk, if you're a man and you want to go and chat to that girl in the club, do you wait for her? No, you go and get her. If you want that opportunity, do you want that job? Do you wait for it or do you go and get it? If you want them trainers, do you wait for the trainers to come and knock on your door or do you go and buy them? Simple as that. Tottenham are just reactive, dead. See you at full time. Full time, people. It's Liverpool 4, Tottenham, 3. Boy, just when you think you run out of things to say about Tottenham because you've given up, I don't even know where my head's at the minute. Like, put it this way, my kids had to tell me not to get annoyed. But I'm saying to them, I'm not annoyed, but I am. It was just proper weird. Like, I'm just watching the TV and, you know, I'll congratulate Liverpool for getting their job done. But it was just a mad game. You know, that felt like I watched 3 games in one because when we were 3-0 down, I was thinking, you are Newcastle. Then, you know, we score to make it 3-1 with Harry Kane. And I'm thinking, Man United. And then we go 3-3 and I'm thinking, Ajax? Do you know what I mean? Like, is this going to be a victory? And then, nah, wasn't to be. I don't know whether to take that as a positive or not because we did well to. I still till this minute can't believe Liverpool didn't make that 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, you know, I'm going to congratulate Liverpool, but also maybe criticise them because the Liverpool that I know at Anfield, they would put their foot on the pedal and make sure it's 4, 5, 6, spank ya. Do you know what I mean? But they let us in and, you know, could have easily not only drew the game, we had a lot of chances in that second half to maybe make it 3-2 or 3-3 a lot earlier. But, you know, they got the job done. The most important thing is the 3 points. They played magnificently in the first sort of 20 minutes. After that, it was the Liverpool of the season that we've just seen. You know, Van Dijk isn't the same that he was. You know, he's still commanding as in the way you look at him and you know that he's a big man. But I don't know what it is with Liverpool because the first 20 minutes was like, yeah, this is the Liverpool that we all know about at Anfield. And then the next sort of 60 minutes was like, is this Liverpool? Like, we are bad. And they let us come into the game quite a lot, man. And you could feel the Anfield crowd, like I said at half time. They weren't happy when they were winning 3-1. But we was all jumping around. And, you know, at half time, I kind of said, do I look at the crowd and ridicule them or hold my hands up? And to be fair, I've got to say that I hold my hands up to them because I think if they just kept their mouths shut and didn't do anything, I don't think the players would believe. But I think the fans, along with probably what Ryan Mason was saying in the changing rooms at half time, probably helped them. But again, it's lack of concentration in this game. It's individuals not focusing. You know, we had Romero and Dyer, lack of focus in the first half, hence the reason why we're giving away penalties. You know, he's could have been 3 or 4 after 10, 15 minutes. But then, you know, they sort themselves out. But then Lucas Moura comes on, lack of concentration. Like, for me, I don't understand why, you know, it's gone 3-3. Blatantly going to be one more chance in that game. He just felt it. Someone's going to nick this game. All he had to do was boot it up the pitch. He could have booted that up the pitch. Harry Kane might one ahead up, boom. All of a sudden we're through, or there's a chance or something. But just get it away from our box because we're at Anfield. But he decides to play it back like we're 4-0 up. Jota's through. Good night, Vienna. And like I was saying to my cousin on the phone, who's a Liverpool fan, whenever I go to the toilet, man, I'll put the volume up because I know Tottenham are going to let me down when I'm in the bog. So I'm in the toilet going for a pee. I can hear what's Lucas Moura doing, and I was like, yep. And then the kids are running upstairs going, Dad, Liverpool scored. And, you know, my son was jumping around with me when it went 3-3. He was upset at full time, but I just said to him, in simple terms, you support Tottenham, mate. This is what happens. Hopefully when he's my age, and I'm an old man, if God willing, it's changed. But Daniel Levy will probably still be in charge, won't he? So, yeah, of course there's positives to take. But again, it's the negatives. We shouldn't be 3-0 down in the first place, and we shouldn't be so complacent when we're in a position, realistically, to go and win the game from 3-0 down. Would have been one of them mad Premier League games. But I think both clubs will walk off that pitch in the changing room arguing more so than taking superlatives from that, because Liverpool and Klopp would be upset with not just the refs and all that stuff, but with themselves. You know, they'll be hard looking at themselves and thinking, how are we 3-0 up with 15 minutes to go and we could have lost the game. And with Tottenham, you're in a position to bring it back to 3-3 and then you go and lose it. But that's how Liverpool and Tottenham have been all season. If you wanted to get to the point where you wanted to say, what have Liverpool and Tottenham been doing this season? Watch that game and you'd see we've had a problem. We've had a problem at the back. With Liverpool, you'd think that they should be scoring a lot more goals with the talent they've got. You could also see that they were missing Diaz because they looked like a different team 15 minutes when he come on. Well, when he started, sorry. You know, they are lacking in midfield. You know, considering what position what midfielders have had before with Wijnaldum. You know, Henderson even playing a lot better at the time. But yeah, you know, I kind of read the script. I thought we would get pumped, but it's just one of those, you know. We weren't ever going to get top four, Tottenham or Liverpool. I don't think. Liverpool more so, maybe put a little bit of pressure on United and Newcastle and keep them honest. But I think what we have to do is play for pride. And, you know, as much as I'm not happy with the results, the last two games, at least the players have showed potential, you know, with Ryan Mason giving them a kick up the backside, that they care a bit. So that's not going to keep me a happy Spurs fan. But in hindsight, it's just small steps to build them, because this is going to take a lot of time to sort this mess out. But yeah, we move on to the next game. And that's pretty much it, really. As you can see, I've got a roll neck on, so I'm going to go and drown my sorrows. As I say on all the videos, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all of that. Love to you all. See you in the midweek.